This will be a quick demonstration of the Quickdraw weaving program's overall capabilities. I'm going to start with a simple little heart pattern here. And it shows you the basic displays. And this pattern has a lift plan. You can see the large and the small threads in the lift plan. And I have an ability of controlling those to any size I want. Actually, I'll also have a capability of linking color with the thread size, so you can treat it more as a thread rather than the standard whiff tools. So let me walk through a couple of other things. This page gives me the general edit capabilities for warp, weft, or tie-up, if there is one. The project setup screens lets me select how many shafts. You'll notice this limits 64 shafts, 66 treadles. That is not a firm limit. I can actually go over that. You open another sample pattern for what I mean by that. This is a drawloom pattern that actually has 160 shafts, or 159 shafts, 159 treadles. And you can see with a tie-up, that's a very large pattern. Let me talk about where that one came from for a moment. What I actually have is the ability to take an image from the internet, copy it to the clipboard. When I go into the grid view, if I paste that black and white, that image is black and white. So what was full color now has been automatically digitized, and each pixel in the original image is now one point on the grid, so I can select whatever I want to there. Let me go to a network drafting demonstration for a moment. I can select any initial I want by just dragging and dropping, or change that any way I want to. The pattern line, as I do a mouse over on the scroll line, as soon as I let go, you'll see, and I'm zooming out, you can immediately see the pattern form there. I actually have a capability of adding echo and iris tools to that. So I want to do a couple of echo threads, control the position of those echo threads, the colors of those echo threads. You can see every time I drag one, the image over to the right is changing. So I've now got those color threads. If I ask for the weft in black and zoom out, I can see what I can do with color and weave effects pretty quickly. If I want to edit that line, it will immediately redraw based on that new line. And I have the ability in the ribbon to go through and scroll that ribbon, roll the ribbon. You can see what that does in the middle of the pattern. So that gives me a capability of doing some unique tools in network drafting. Once a project's been designed, the next question is trying to get materials. So one of the other things that is on the project setup screen, if I ask for threads, it will actually tell me how many threads of each color that are in the end. So there's like 200 ends of each thread plus 600 weft threads. So if I ask copy those to clipboard, now I'm actually using Excel for my project calculations. Since there's a million people that know how to use Excel and then not that many that know how to use using software, if I paste those copied cells into Excel, it immediately feeds into the yardage calculations, feed in the specifics of what fiber you're using. It will tell you how much weight in English or metric. There's a couple of different tabs. So that's how I've done the project calculations. It gives you a little bit better tool support for that. Now, once you've actually got materials in hand, the next question is trying to thread what's a complicated pattern. If I ask for the warp up here, if I zoom in, you can actually see the warp threads up here. As I click, it will show me the current warp thread, which shaft it should be tied into. So this being an 8-shaft pattern, it would walk through that warp. Since this is a lift plan pattern, when I go to the weft, it's showing me a black weft. Point by point is showing me exactly which shafts need to be raised. So it works out to be a really convenient tool for working with a table loom in a network draft. So in a very short overview, that gives you some capability of going all the way from an initial design project to finished products, order materials, and so forth, all within the basic environment of Quickdraw.